kind of like we talked about, slow start, but you guys ended up kind of pulling away there in the end. What do you think the key was there in the second half?
I think the bottom line was we just finally executed our press break that we've been talking about, and then kind of executing their half-court trap against their 3-2, and the adjustment we made in a timeout. And it just came out that we executed against their 1-2-2 full court, and we started executing against the 3-2 half court. And so that's what it really came down to. And we went from 18 turnovers to 9 turnovers. We started taking care of the ball, but just really flat out just came out to execution and being able to just do what we practiced, do what we adjusted, and just coming through with good, solid execution.
Mm-hmm. What do you think that says about your team being able to kind of turn it around like that after that slow start?
Well, I really feel like we got a very talented team, probably the most talented team we've had here. I think too we have probably better shooters than we've had in the past, so that obviously helps us and kind of an equalizer. Kenna Gibson, Kirsten Zaruba, Thursday night had a huge night. She's a little bit under the weather, so she was kind of a little bit off tonight. But I think, Lauren Baker hitting some shots. Those girls can shoot it, and so I think it opens up things for Ariana Rossborough and J.C. Briscoe and Peyton Hicks and things of that nature. And so I think when the day's over, we have a ton of talent, and talent's going to always win over. And once we start executing and you combine that with the talent we have, I think that's what really turned it around in the second half when we started playing like we're capable of playing.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, Kenna had herself a pretty good second half shooting the ball. How big was that for her to kind of turn it on?
It's huge because that's what Kenna can do. Kenna's a very good basketball player. She's very good offensively. She's getting better each and every day defensively. And it's just something she needs to, sometimes she can just blend into the background, and we don't need her to blend into the background. We need her to be at the forefront. And so I was really happy to see that she finally kind of took that initiative and answered the challenge at halftime to come on out and be aggressive. And obviously it showed it worked out very well.
All right, what do you guys
and Coach, you guys went on a 17-4 run in that third quarter. The momentum seemed to completely shift. I think you guys had your largest lead of the game at that point. How key was that run and kind of getting you guys going offensively there in the second half?
Well, I think, too, if you look at it, probably, one of the worst first halves that we've played in a long time. Just weren't making shots, but we weren't attacking. We were settling for jump shots. Again, came down to not just executing like we had talked about against the press and just not doing the little things. And so we talked about it at halftime, made some adjustments, reiterated some things that we talked about at shoot around and at practice this morning and yesterday. And it just came down to the fact that we needed to come out and get some separation. And that 17-4 run is huge because that allowed us to get that separation and kind of maybe get a little bit of control of the game instead of just being more nip and tuck trading buckets. Defensively, our offense started clicking defensively. I really felt like that, we just were really lethargic, and it just seems like we were slow to react to everything. And, it's kind of like what you and I talked about last week with shooting. You're going to have a bad shooting night. You just want to make sure that it doesn't happen at the wrong time. Defensively, can kind of say the same thing is, you're going to have a night on the defensive end where you get, you're a step slow, you're not rotating. And so, hopefully we can regroup as we go to San Antonio tomorrow for 2 big games and be able to really get back to what we do defensively.
You mentioned 2 big games. Those are against 2 top 20 opponents in the country. You're playing Trinity on their home floor. You guys have a long history of playing Trinity in some very good games. How important will it be to kind of clean up those things defensively and keep this offense, especially the three-point shooting, going, into both of those matchups over the next week?
Yeah, we're hoping that, Kirsten Zaruba will start feeling a little bit better. She's just got a little cold, so I feel like she'll be by Monday. She'll be in good shape. I feel like, offensively we'll clean some things up, so some things that were out of characteristic for a couple of our players. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time defensively to get back into things, but I think the biggest thing is we'll watch a lot of film. We'll sit down as a team and we'll watch that film and say, okay, here's where we're slow. We're just, a lot of it's just our reactionary time was very out of character for us today. And I think that's the biggest thing is we'll do a lot of prep work and trying to fix some of these issues via film and just seeing what we can do and be better. Matter of fact, I told a couple of the girls, I said, you need to go home tonight. And, a couple of them were disappointed in how they played. I said, you need to go home tonight and watch. What did I do well? What did I do wrong? What do I have to correct? Because a lot of times, I guarantee you, it's something technical. It's something minor that that can easily be fixed. And so, we'll correct that. I feel like it was just a little bit of out of position defense, things that we should know how to do. We just didn't step up to the challenge. And so, hopefully that'll make us obviously be better for Monday and Tuesday. And then obviously, as you know, Riley, we always change things up defensively and coverages anyway. So some of that may change going into Monday and Tuesday as well.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much.